Alright, so now we're getting close to the interesting part. Now what I have to do now is calibrate the compass. Now what this means is I have to upload into the Arduino a separate piece of code which is for calibrating the compass. And then I have to rock the compass around all over the place, and as I do so the computer measures some particular parameters. Now in the code that's going to run the whole thing, these are the parameters that have been allocated to the compass. On the right is the code that I've just uploaded, and as I twist this thing around, let me just start this process. I'm uploading this, you can see from the bar at the bottom right hand side, I'm uploading this now to the Arduino. And once that's done, I'm going to open the serial monitor with this here, and then I'm just going to measure all of the, you can see all of these different measurements whirring along the bottom. And as I rock it around, you can see it's starting to, those measurements go to their extreme, and after a while they stop, those little numbers. They don't go any further, and at that point I want to copy those numbers and put them straight into the actual code that's going to run the boat. Now I'm rocking it around and it's adjusting as it goes. That's how it finishes. I've just taken a snapshot of it, and while I've got that still, I'm going to this side, which is the actual code, and I'm just going to copy these numbers in. And once I've done this, I can then upload this into my Arduino, and it's calibrated for this individual compass. Very simple process. You can't not calibrate them. Now on my website you will find not only the code that will run the boat, this code, but you will also find the calibration code which you need to do this. And no matter what, you have to do it every time because every compass is a bit different. Okay, so here's a capacitor. I'm going to start putting those on, as you know from the circuit diagram that's on the web page. And once again, here we are. It's all working now very nicely. Once again, when I put that lever up, I can control the boat. When I let go of it, it's on the last heading that it was previously. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Just turn that over and you can see the light come on down below, which means that the relay is on, and it's turned on the smoke machine, which is that starting to work? Yes, it is. So we've got all of the electronics working. Now all I have to do is fit the smoke generator. So this is some 5-minute epoxy. I'm just putting that on that little platform and sticking, just loosely putting that in place to where I think it should be, like so. Makes it very slippy when you've got epoxy under it. It's turning, actually it's turning right now. I didn't notice this. Makes it a little bit funny. Anyway, doesn't matter. Now I'm using a nice long piece of pipe here just to locate it. Once I've located it, I'll let that dry, and then I take the long piece of pipe out and I'll glue a shorter piece in, because clearly I don't need one that long. So it's all finished now. You can hear the motor running. There's the rudder. Trim tab back, it's in auto. Put that forward, can still control the boat. And that's it, and now we've got the smoke running. It's all good. Now you've got to imagine, you've got to realize this has been very simple to do, and the relays have been very easy to make, very easy to do. Now what I'm doing here is just fitting the magnetic door catch that's going to turn on the relays, the main relays. And this is a simple process. You can see these, they're worth a couple of bucks each, I think. I've done a lovely job of this. It's fitted in very nicely. A couple of dabs of super glue and that will never move. And here we are, we're on the lake, and I'm now using my camera boat, which has got exactly the same gear inside it. Not that I'm using that right now, but it controls the top camera and the bow camera. And honestly, I just get some lovely shots with this. It's just a lot of fun. I use 10 revs per minute motors. Here's Scuffy, looking bloody fantastic with its smoke, and it's just a great looking boat on the water, I have to say. It's just brilliant. But I've used this camera boat to take pictures of other boats, because I can get it on a heading and then I can forget about it and bring the other boat next to it and take all the pictures. So for those of you that have seen this really nice little movie that I've made, all of the film that I've taken is from the camera boat, and many of the shots are taken as the boat is in auto control and cruising along at a set speed. Now, while I'm going to talk to you, show you some nice pictures, including this great thing about the U-boat in the lake. You can click the link to that as you go. When you first put the boat in the water and you turn it on automatic, you have to understand that the PID is wrestling with keeping the boat on a course. Now, if you put your boat flat out and you turn that on, it's going to be it could be a fairly disastrous effect, because it's going to turn it to port to starboard, and it could get really quite messy. You can adjust the PID for that, but generally what I find is that slow to moderate speed is the way to go. And I also find that when you first put the boat in the water and I set it on a particular direction and put it on automatic, for some reason it'll pull off to port for a couple of moments and then pull back and then end up on the course, a bit like it's trying to find its way. And then from then on it doesn't do that anymore. It's interesting, because I think the PID is actually learning as it goes. So it's a very interesting process. Don't go too fast with it and you'll be fine. Also, when you set it on a course and you find that it's not quite right, the next thing to do is just push the lever forward, take control, move it onto that course, and then just gently drop it back into neutral, and it takes over again. And it just takes a couple of adjustments, and basically you can get it to do what you want, and it's all nice and reliable. It's terrific. But then you have to keep your eye on it if there's other boats around, because you don't want a preying.